Hi everyone, welcome to another superb session of THD where we'll be discussing about linear tracks. Okay, in the next few videos, we'll be discussing about all the concepts of linear tracks. Many are not found in normal books. Okay, so all the concepts, all the shortcuts about linear tracks. Okay, in next few videos. So let's start. Let's start. See, understand this case here. There, there is a track, linear track, right? Okay, let me make a good linear track. Okay, the linear track PQ. Okay, and length of PQ is 100 meter. Length of PQ is 100 meter. Two persons A and B starts simultaneously. Okay, understand this case here, right? They'll be doing questions on it. Okay, so two persons A and B start simultaneously on this track, and they meet they meet they meet for first time they meet for first time at 40 meters from Q. Okay, at 40 meters from Q, right? That means, let's say this is the first meeting point M1. Okay, if this is 40 meters, if this is 40 meters, this got to be 60 meters, right? Okay, because total length is 100 meters. Okay, so 100 meters the length, that means A has traveled. Okay, now see this, A has traveled 60 meter in the same time in which B has traveled 40 meters. Okay, in which B has traveled 40 meters, right? In which B has traveled 40 meters. Okay, so A has traveled 60 meters, B has traveled 40 meters, right? So that means, and in the same time, that means if time is same, so we discussed many times, right? If time is same, okay, so we know distance is equal to speed into time. That means time is constant. That means distance is directly proportional to speed. That means ratio of distance is equal to ratio of speed. Correct. So in this case, the ratio of distance covered is what? So distance covered by A to distance covered by the B, the ratio is 60 to 40. That is 3 by 2. That means distance covers. Therefore, if time is constant or time is same, their distance ratio is equal to speed ratio, right? That means their speed ratio is also 3 is to 2. Their speed ratio is also 3 is to 2. Okay, first important point, right? So from this data, from this information, we can find that their speed ratio is what it is, 3 is to 2. Okay, now we'll see if these persons, right, if these persons A and B are meeting at M1 and they're running for infinite time, right? Now this is important here, right? They are running for infinite times between P and Q, right? So now they are running for infinite times between P and Q. So P and Q are 2 points. Length of PQ is 100 meters. It's a straight linear track, and these persons A and B are kept on running, right? Kept on running. A reaches Q, B reaches P. They again come back. They again come back. They again come back, right? So between these 2 points, they kept on running infinite time. So if they have kept on running infinite times in between these 2 points, right? So what can we say from here is, when can be the meeting point M2 take place, right? This first meeting point is M1, fine. First meeting point is M1, which is 40 meters from A. Okay, which is 40 meters from A. This is the first meeting point M1, which is 40 meters from A. Sorry, 40 meters from Q. Okay, now first meeting point M1, which is 40 meters from Q. Now, for M2, now just draw this track here, right? Very important concept will come here. Very important concept. Okay, just draw this track, right? Let me draw it a little bit below to understand it better. Okay, B is running like that. Okay, and let's continue their path, right? Let's continue their path. So B's path, I'm drawing in red here. Okay, in red. This is the path of B, right? This is the path of B, and B will reach P here and will again come back. Okay, and A's path I'm drawing in black. Okay, To understand it better, A's path I'm drawing in black, right? So A will continue. Okay, let's say A will, this is A's path here, and let's say A's continue its path, right? A comes here, A reaches Q, and again A comes back. Again A comes back, right? So let's say somewhere here, somewhere here, right? Like B is coming here, here. Like suppose somewhere here, this is the second meeting point M2. Okay, this is the path of A, and this is the path of A, right? This is the path of A, and this is path of B, right? Suppose somewhere here is the second meeting point M2, right? Now you got to understand this very point funda, right? When A and B started from a same from opposite points P and Q, so till M1, okay. So you got to understand this very important point here. When both A and B started from opposite points, okay, 100 meter apart, okay. So till M1, okay, they have covered a distance of combined distance of 100 meter, okay. For the time being, let's say this track length is D. Right? Let's generalize it. Not for any 100 meter. Let's generalize it. Okay. So for time being, let's say 100 length meter. This track length is D. That means 100 meter equal to D. Okay. So I should write D here. Okay. So till M1, they have covered a combined distance of D. Right? See, both are started from opposite points, and they started running simultaneously, and they meet at a point D. Sorry, they meet at a point C. Let's name this point here C. Okay, which is their first meeting point M1. Right? In the same time, A covers 60, B covers 40. Right? That means their speed ratio is 3:2 because time is constant. So distance ratio is equal to speed ratio. That is 3:2. So if that is 3:2, that means we got our speed ratio is 3:2. Okay. Now, if they kept on running for the infinite time in between these two ends, okay. So till M1, okay, still till first meeting, their combined distance covered is D. Combined distance, right? From here, suppose this is the length of track D, and they are meeting some point here. So combined distance traveled by both of them is D. So till M1, they have traveled a combined distance of D, right? Okay. Now from M1 to M2, what is the combined distance traveled from M1 to M2? Now see here. So you see M1 path here, right? M1, sorry. So you see B path here. So B, I have shown in this red one. Okay, B, I have shown in this red one, B's path, and in black, I have shown this A's path. Okay, this A's path in black, right? You see here, from M1 to M2, right? To see this dotted path, dotted line here, this dotted line. Okay, dotted line. This is the dotted line, right? This is dotted line. So this is the path of A from here to here, right? And this is the path of B from here to here, this red line, this path of B from here to here, right? You see what is the combined distance? This track is covered, right? This track is covered 2 times. Okay. This here, this B starting, and this is the M1, right? B is here, A is here. Now what is happening here? A is going in this direction and B is going in this direction, right? So combined distance traveled by them is now 2D. Combined distance traveled by them is 2D, right? Very important point. Okay. Combined distance traveled by them is 2D. Okay. So from M1 to M2, combined distance traveled by them is 2D. Twice path they have covered. From M1 to M2, only 2D, right? Till M1, first meeting point. They started at these 2 points. First meeting point, they just meet at M1. At C, that is first meeting point, M1. So combined distance traveled is only D, right? But after M1, B went like this and A went like this, right? So after M1, combined distance traveled by them is 2D, right? 2D. So M1 to M2, 2D. Now this is very important concept, right? Because M2 to M3 also combined distance will be 2D only, right? Because you see, now again same thing will happen. Just continue this path of B here. This is M2, right? Now, if you continue this path of B here, suppose B is coming from here to here, reaching somewhere here, and like suppose at this point, okay? And you see then path of A here, See path of A here. So A is right now, A was coming for M1, A has come till here, right? Now again A starts this point and A starts again from this point. It goes here and it reaches somewhere here, right? So let's say their combined distances, sorry, let's say this is the third meeting point, M3. Third meeting point, M3. So see, this bold line here, right? See this bold line now here. Bold line in red. This is the bold line in red. This is a path of B here, right? This is a path of B. This is a path of B in red line. So this is a path of B in a red line. This is a bold line. Okay, B reaches somewhere here and A reaches somewhere here, right? So again, this is M3. What is the combined distance traveled again from M2? What is the combined distance traveled again? They are reaching here at M3. Okay, from M2, their combined distance traveled is again 2D. So every time it is 2D. M2 to M3, again 2D. Again 2D. So a super concept underlies here. Okay, and you got to understand this concept. Okay, so till first meeting point D, from M1 to M2 2D, M2 to M3 2D, and then 2D here on, right, till infinite meetings. Okay, so now can I say here that suppose I tell you till 15th meeting, just understand, right? I'm just explaining a concept here, not doing any question. Okay, question we'll do in next slide. Okay, just understand this concept here. If I tell you to find till 15th meeting point, what is their combined distance traveled and what is their individual distance traveled by A and B? Okay, till 15th meeting point, what is their combined distance traveled and what is their individual distance traveled, right? So till M15, right? What is the total distance traveled by them? So total distance traveled by A plus B is how much? Till M15, how much? So M15, right, you can simply calculate in mind. Okay, till M1 it is D, and after that for next 14 meetings, every time it is 2D, 2D, 2D. Correct. Till first meeting it is D, and next 14 times, every time it is 2D, 2D, 2D. Right? That means how much it is for first meeting D, and for next 14 meeting, right? We are calculating for 15th meeting. So next 14 meetings, it is 28D. 28D, right? 2D into 14 is 28D. That is total 29D. Total 29D. And here D is 100 meter. So total distance traveled by them is 2900 meter. Okay. So total distance traveled by them is 2900 meters. Right. Very important point. Combined distance traveled by them is 2900 meter. Right. And then what we can calculate is their individual distance, right? Because you know that they have covered distance in the ratio of 3:2. Their speed ratio and their distance ratio is 3:2, right? So 2900 I can divide in the ratio of 3:2 to find the speeds of A and B. So I can write here. So 2900 I can divide in the ratio of 3:2 to find the ratio of speeds of A and B. Okay. So 2900 meter in the ratio of 3:2. 3:2. So how much it is? 2900 in 5 parts, right? So one part is how much? 2900 by 5. 2900 by 5. That is, how do you divide by 5? Double and divide by 10. So 2900 double is what? 5800. And 5800 by 10 is what? 580. Okay. So one part is 580, right? 2900 to be divided in 5 parts. 2900 to be divided in 5 parts, right? One part is how much? 580. So 3 part is how much? 580 into 3. Okay. So 580 into 3 is how much? 1740 meter. This is the distance traveled by A, 1740 meter, right? What is 2 parts? 580 into 2, that is 1160 meters. This is the distance traveled by B. That's the answer, right? That's the answer. And this is the whole concept. Okay. About linear tracks when they meet and they meet at different point. Okay. And they kept running for infinite times between these 2 points, right? So I hope it is clear, right? So we just started this funda from where A and B started at 2 opposite points which were 100 meter apart. They started simultaneously. Very important point. They started simultaneously. That means together. So they started together and they met at 40 meter from Q. That means B has traveled 40 meter, in the same time A has traveled 60 meter. The ratio of distance is 3:2, and since time is same, that means time is constant, the ratio of speed is also 3:2. Okay. Then second point, after the first meeting M1, okay, if they continue their path and kept running for infinite times between these two ends, right? So what will happen now? So it's like B has come from here and A has come from here to here, right? So now it's like when A continues its path, okay, So A continues its path and B continues their path. So for next meeting point, they have covered a combined distance of 2D. Combined distance of 2D. Right. Then again from M2 to N3, again combined distance of 2D. Right. Again combined distance of 2D. So 2D every time is the concept here. Okay. So let's do this question here. Let's do this question. See, two persons A and B start moving at each other simultaneously from point P and Q respectively, which are 1400 meters apart. They first meet. The first time meet at 400 meters from P. How far is A from Q when he meets B for the 22nd time? Okay, so let's do this question here. Now it should look easy, just a practice of the previous concept. Okay. So linear track, PQ, and this length of track is 1400, right? So D is equal to 1400 meters. Okay. And the first A starts from P. Okay. So A starts from P and B starts from Q. B starts from Q. Yeah. So they have met 400 meters from Q. So they both started simultaneously. Very important point, right? Because in the next questions we'll be seeing when they don't start simultaneously, right? Or after meeting at a certain point they reach simultaneously. So this word is very important, right? So fix in mind for the next few questions. Okay. So um, they meet first time they meet at 400 meters from P. Okay. So 400 meters from P they met. Fine. So let's put this distance as 400 meter here. So this is like make this point as R, and this is their first meeting point M1. First meeting point M1. Okay. So what is the distance traveled? So distance traveled is distance whole is 1400 meter and they met at 400 meter from P. That means this distance is 400 meter. So this distance would be 1000 meter. Correct. So distance traveled by A and distance traveled by B in the same time, right? So in the time when A travels 1000 meter, in the time when A travels 1000 meter, okay, B has to, sorry, reverse. Okay, in the time A has traveled 400 meters, in the time A has traveled 400 meters, it's in the same time B has traveled 1000 meters. So what is the speed ratio? Speed of A is to speed of B. What is the ratio? It should be 2 by 5. So 2 is to 5. Same as distance ratio, by right? Because time is constant. So speed ratio is equal to distance ratio. Speed ratio is equal to distance ratio, right? Time is constant. So 2 is to 5. 2 is to 5. Okay, this is the first part. Now move to second part now. Okay. So in the second part, they have tried to find there for 22nd meeting, right? So we know that we just this we saw this concept edited. Okay. Okay, so here they are meeting at 22nd time. So you have just seen this concept, okay? That for 22nd time, what is the total distance traveled? So till first meeting point, distance traveled is D, and here on after every time from first meeting, distance traveled is 2D, right? We just saw this concept, right? That I can show you once again here. Okay, A has covered from here to here, covering 400 meter, and B has covered from here to here, covering 1000 meter. Okay, this is for B. Okay, so when they continue, okay, when they continue, so A will continue in this direction. So A will continue. So suppose A continues here. Okay, reaches Q and again comes back. Same for B. B continues here, reaches A and then again comes back, and let's say somewhere they meet at this point. Okay, and let's call this second meeting point as M2. Okay, so you can see here this is the first meeting point M1, right? From M1 now B has continued his path, right? So B continued his path and A also continued his path. Okay, so B and A are meeting at M2. This is M1 and B and A are reaching at M2. So from M1 to M2, you see this line here. drawn, this has covered the track twice. Okay, that means the total distance covered is 2d. Total distance covered is 2d, right? So when total distance covered is 2d, in that case, when total distance covered is 2d, so for first meeting point, okay, for first meeting point, let's say here, for first meeting point, combined distance traveled is d, and here on for every meeting, the combined distance traveled is 2d, 2d for every meeting, right? From m1 to m2, okay, or from m2 to m3, every time combined distance traveled is 2d, 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 right? That means till 29, sorry, till 20 seconds meeting. What is the combined distance traveled? The first is d and next 21 times 2d. So d plus 2 into 21, sorry, d plus 2d into 21. Next 21 times 2d, right? 2d into 21. That is how much that is? That is 43d. And what is the value of d here? 1400 meters. So total distance traveled till m2, m22. Total distance traveled till m22 is equal to 1400 into 43. 1400 into 43. 43d means 1400 into 43. Okay, so let's not solve it, right? Because we got to solve in ratio, no? So okay, this is the total distance traveled till 20-second meeting, right? But we have to calculate what is the distance traveled by A and what is the distance traveled by B. What is traveled by A and what is traveled by B, right? So we'll calculate this. We'll calculate this now. Okay, so don't completely solve here, right? Don't completely solve here because we have to cancel it now, because we have to calculate if distance traveled by A and B. So in ratio it will get cancelled, right? So don't waste time in solving this here. Okay, so now see what is distance traveled by A now. So distance traveled by A would be how much? Distance traveled by A. So speed of A is to speed of B. The ratio is 2:5. Distance is proportional to speed because time is constant. So distance also will be divisible in the ratio of distance also to be divided in the ratio of 2:5. Okay. So distance traveled by A is how much? 2/7. Okay. 2/7 of total distance, that is 1400 into 43. Right? Can cancel here. 7 2 ja 14. So 200 into 43. So that is 400 into 43. So 43 into 4 is how much? 172. So it becomes 17,200 meters. That means total distance traveled by A is 17,200 meters because we are interested with A only, right? A only. Total distance traveled by A is 17,200 meters. Fine. Now we can see here. So the full length of track is 1400 meters. Okay, that means one straight round from A to B, one straight running from A to B, sorry, P to Q is how much? 1400 meter. So one straight running 1400 meter, coming back 1400, then again going to 1400, right? So 1400, I have to see this in multiples of 1400, right? So see, you have to see this in multiples of 1400 here. So multiple of 1400, so 1400 to 17,200, right? So we'll see which multiple of 1400 is closer to 17,200. So 14 to 10 once 40. 14 into 12 is 168. 14 into 12 is 168, right? That means 12 times. Okay. So 1400 into 12 is 16,800 meter. Sorry. 1400 into 12 is 16,800 meter. Total distance is 17,200 meter. So still 400 meters left. Still 400 meters left, right? That means after 12 complete rounds. Okay, so you see, after one round, A will be at Q. After 2 rounds, A will be at P. After 3 rounds, A will be at Q. After 4 rounds, A will be at P. So at all the even multiples, right? At all the even multiples, A will be at P only. That is starting point. 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 4 round. So at round number 2, 4, 6, 8, A will be at P only, right? So at that means what is 12, right? So what is 12? 12 is an even number here. 1400 into 12. So taking 12 complete round means again A reaches at P. So after taking 12 complete rounds, again A reaches at P. So I should write A12 here. After taking 12 complete rounds, A again reaches at P. So now for 400 more length to travel, right? So 400 more. That means A is again at R. This is 400, right? This is 400. That means A is again at R. So if A is again at R, so R is 400 meter from P, but I have to calculate how far he is from Q. So if R is 400 meter from P, then R is 1000 meter from Q, right? Therefore, what is the answer? Answer for this question is what? Answer for this question is 1000 meter. Answer for this question is 1000 meter, right? I'm sure you got it right. Same thing. See, I know that this track length is 1400 meter, right? 1400 meter. And total distance traveled by A is 17,200 meter. Okay. That means if you see a multiple of 1400 near 17,200, so both contains two zeros, just exclude, right? Just see multiple of 14 near 172. So multiple of 14 near 172, 14 into 12 is 168, right? That means after making 12 complete rounds, he's again at the starting point, because one round at P, Q, second round at P, third at Q, fourth at P. So all the even numbers, right? He's at P. That means after completing 12 rounds, he is at P. A is at P. So after completing 12 rounds, total distance traveled by A is how much? After completing 12 rounds, total distance traveled by A is how much? 1400 into 12, that is 16,800 meter, right? But total distance actually is how much? 17,200. So he has to travel 400 more, right? So after 12 rounds, he's at P and is traveling 400 more. So again, he will reach at R, right? That is 400 meters. So he is 400 meter from P, but total track length is 1000 meters. So total track length is 1400 meters. So is 1000 meter from Q. What is the answer? Answer is 1000 meter. 1000 meter. A super question it is, right? A very nice question. Just need to concentrate a bit. Okay, understand this concept, and it's a very good concept, right? You'll feel confident. Okay. So we'll continue in next video. Thank you.